Hello again everybody and welcome back to another episode of Coding with Kenny G. So this is episode 22 and I thought it would be fun this episode to try to get a little bit of game mechanic action on this board so that we are able to capture an opposing piece. I am going to have a little look at our task list because I think this is going to be a little bit involved. We need to set up a lot of stuff in order to make this easy-ish to work with. So let's see here, episode 22, capturing a piece. So on actor end move, check for captures. Okay, and what could help there is to create a static script called capture checker. It's pretty much like part of our game rules, and you can ask that the script capture checker, hey, with this list of, or rather the board state that I'm sending in, is there any capture actors? Please return that list to me, so I can later apply that result onto the actual game board and remove actors from the board and stuff like that. And in that regard, it also helps a lot to have a few helper functions to find different information on the board itself. So for example, I move my guy, this attacker piece, up to here, and then when on actor end move I want to check, for example, his neighboring tile in north direction, his neighboring tile in east direction and stuff like that, and that would be great to have some helper functions for. So maybe we can make a static board helper class with helper functions to get a tile in cardinal direction, which means compass direction translated. So it is a little bit of involved work. Maybe this episode might take an episode or two or even three, but we can start somewhere, just to state that for now we are going to follow a certain way that we think about compass. So Z, the blue axis, that is going to be north, and the x-axis is going to be east, as in global direction, right? So no matter how you rotate the camera, we're always going to relate to that as a compass direction or cardinal direction, as global directions. All right, so let's just start somewhere, we're gonna need to create a few scripts. So let's go back to our task list. Okay, we can create that capture checker script. Create C# script, capture checker. Open it up in Visual Studio. Okay. Took a little bit of while. Okay. And I wanted to open actually the new script I made here. Capture checker. There we go. By the way, one small thing. If you upgraded your Unity version to 2020.1, you need to update this stuff again. So this was shown in episode 1, how you change a script template. You need to do that every time you upgrade a Unity version. It's a little bit annoying. But please refer to episode 1 if you need to get this back to where it was. These regions and template setup. Just gonna close this annoying window down here. Okay, good. capture checker, and probably we're gonna need a board helper class. It's also gonna be a static board helper. Static, so that we don't need to have it on a game object. So board helper and capture checker. Okay, let's go. We're just gonna remove the inheritance from board helper. No, not inherit from mono behavior. Set it to a static class. There we go. And same for capture checker. There we go. For these for these static classes, I usually just remove everything of these regions except the public and private regions. There we go. So we can just do that. Okay. Great. Let's go. So the board helper. Let's create some commentaries for ourselves here. What this script does. Contains helper functions for e.g. Getting a neighboring tile off a tile on a board. For now, we are still working on the physical board itself, the one that we can actually see with our own eyes. So we are not working with virtual boards yet. That is something that is gonna happen a little bit later. Contains helper functions for getting a neighboring tile off a tile on a board in cardinal direction. So we're going to create our first helper function here because we're probably going to need it. So public static return tile get neighbor tile in direction. So we can send it in the board, or actually this is a tile 2D array, which is the board. Then we go tile current tile. That's the tile that we're checking from. So we're gonna get the neighbor from that tile in direction. And then we're going, I think that I haven't created this enum yet, but if you hold Control and press T, I think I made an enums. Yeah, this is a script that is going to contain most or if not all of the enums in this project. So in here I'm going to add an enum called cardinal direction. So public enum cardinal direction, which is the compass directions of our game. We're gonna have the kind of null at the start here, so none. Then we're just gonna start at north, and then we're gonna go clockwise. So north, north, east, east, south, east, south, south, west, west, north, west, and then finally count. These are the compass directions mainly we're gonna operate on the just the north, the east, south, and west. But there are situations in this particular game where we're gonna need to know something that a position diagonal to a certain tile for more advanced game rules down the line. But okay, so we added this guy to enums. Then back to board helper, we can take a cardinal direction, which is going to define which direction. Oops, I added these brackets twice. Delete that. Which direction from our current tile, which neighbor? So are we gonna get the east neighbor or the west neighbor? And that is where we can create a little switch statement on the parameter direction. And we're gonna write all of this out. So case cardinal direction dot north. I'm just gonna set all of this up real fast. So just write in every case with the cardinal direction of north, northeast, east, etc. So just bear with me and just add the break in between each. So then we have set it up. Northeast, case cardinal direction of east, break, case cardinal direction dot southeast, break, case cardinal direction south, southwest, there we go, northwest, then I think we have it: north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest. Good. Then it's clockwise direction, and at the top before the switch statement I'm gonna write tile to return equals null, and this guy I'm gonna return it at the end, return to return, which is that variable at the top. So we're gonna operate on the board, and this guy is gonna check if also we are out of bounds. So that's good. So we need to in each case here, we need to check if the current tile plus a direction. So for example on the x-axis if it's going east or stuff like that. So let's see. I'm just gonna save some variables to work on just so my typing gets a little bit shorter. So we're gonna have a vector3 or vector2 int current tile index equals current tile dot get tile index. And let's see here. North. We're going to check our current tile index dot y plus 1 on the y-axis for the north. We need to check if it's, excuse me, out of bounds. So let's see. If current tile index dot y is less than board dot get length at dimension 1, because that's the y dimension, right? So the upwards. So if we're in between our if we are in between our actual board dimensions or inside the bounds, then we say that the neighboring tile is the current tile index dot y plus 1. I forgot to add plus 1 here. So if we are within bounds, then return that tile at current tile index dot y plus 1. So that will mean to return equals board at position current tile index dot x comma current tile index dot y plus 1. And if we're not within bounds, we're outside of bounds, then this guy is already null, which is what we want to return. We want to return null if we have a result that is not legal. We need to check for null if the tile that is returned here is null from the calling code. Okay, to keep this episode a little bit shorter, I'm not going to implement the northeast and southeast and stuff like that. We're going to do that later when we need it. For now, I'm just going to do north, east, south, and west. So, east, if current tile index dot x plus 1 is less than board dot get length at dimension 0, then to return equals board at position current tile index dot x plus 1 and current tile index dot y to return is that. Then we do a cardinal direction south. If current tile index dot y minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, then to return equals board at position current tile index dot x comma current tile index dot y minus 1. And the same for west. If current tile index dot x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, then to return equals board at current tile index dot x minus 1 comma current tile index dot y. Okay, so that is our board helper. So if we go back into Unity, I'm just gonna show you, just for clarity's sake, what is happening here. Whoa, there are some new stuff in this Unity 2020. A little bit more loading time, I see. Okay, so what is gonna happen here is that when this guy is on actor end move, he's gonna check if he has a neighbor. Let's just check our time here. 20 minutes. Yeah, I think that to make this a little bit more efficient, I'm gonna end the episode here. because this things need to go in steps. So for the next episode, we're going to use the board helper class to figure out if we are capturing a piece or not. So I'll see you in the next one.